Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a welcome here to the St. Louis Park Rec Center in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, as we get ready for high school hockey on this Thursday night here in the state of Minnesota. It's a good one tonight between the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights and the Maple Grove Crimson. Hello, everybody. Matt Harrington with you here from St. Louis Park Hockey Night in Minnesota here on MN Hockey TV and KARE 11+. Glad you could join us for this one between a couple of top-ranked teams in girls class AA. We'll get a little bit more into that in a moment. Starting goaltenders for tonight have been really good so far this year. Bella Prosser for Maple Grove, 3-0, .946 save percentage, and Emma Maddock also 3-0, .982 save percentage. So the numbers have been very impressive for both of these goaltenders as we're underway here in St. Louis Park. Red Knights look to move up through center. Thanks for joining us here tonight on KARE 11+ and MN Hockey TV as we are underway with the first period. Red Knights in the home white. Maple Grove is in the road maroon jerseys here tonight. Crimson ranked number 6 in the state. Maple Grove ranked number 7. So both these teams highly ranked to start the year, and both are undefeated as well. Benilde St. Margaret's 4-0. Maple Grove is 3-0. Red Knights back into the offensive zone. That's Emerson Rock, who couldn't make a move. Now Maple Grove the other way. Here they come over the line. Good stuff there as Benson tried to get through the seam. Red Knights will take it out. Now in over the line. Off a stick. Benilde trying to get back on that loose puck as it's Bendixson from the point. That shot redirected to the corner boards. Now Rock unable to hold. Maple Grove will take this one out. So we're about 90 seconds into the opening period. No score between Benilde St. Margaret's and Maple Grove. Battle of unbeatens here in girls class AA as we're officially 2 weeks into the season tonight. Of course, the season started 2 weeks ago on this Thursday. And the boys season getting underway tonight as well. We'll have score updates from some boys games and some girls games for you here during the intermission. Battle back behind the net. Maple Grove, shot from the point, deflected. Another try. That one's broken up in front off the attempt there from Harper Weineke, who's had a good start to the year. For Maple Grove has Weineke, goal and an assist in the win versus River Cities last week. Most of the Maple Grove games this year have been low scoring. 3-1, 3-1 victories in their last two. Drop back now to the point. Strothman's shot is blockered away. Red Knights trying to keep the zone here, and they do. Back into the corner. Zakrajcek behind the net for Benilde St. Margaret's. Zakrajcek toward the front. Handed it off. Found a teammate at the back door. Sweeping play with the stick, but unable to put it past the goaltender for Maple Grove. That, of course, being Prosser, as it's cleared down by the Crimson. No icing here, as it'll be taken up now by the defender. Loose puck out front. Oh, great opportunity there for Maple Grove. That was actually Hansen for the Red Knights. Here they come now. Heising and Hansen. Heising across, just a bit behind Tala Hansen. Great look for the Red Knights. Another try. Here is Hansen up to the point. Shot there, steered away toward the glass by Prosser. And still loose now behind the net. Zakrajcek. Now Heising will cycle it back down low here for the Red Knights. Hansen in there as well. Up to the point. Bounce back off the boards. Zakrajcek up to the wall. Nice move by Dooley to keep it alive for the Red Knights, as she'll shovel that one in deep, but unfortunately for her, unable to find a teammate as Maple Grove will move it through center. Still no whistles in this opening period as we're about 4 minutes in now. Both teams in a change. As it deflects off a Benilde stick. Weltson goes back in to the zone. Trying to go for Nelson, but it's kept alive at the blue line by Gettle. And her shot is gloved by Emma Maddock, who will hold on for a stoppage. Shots on goal here in the first few minutes, 3 apiece for these teams. So Benilde St. Margaret's entering tonight 4-0. They put up some really impressive offensive numbers so far. In their last 2 games, outscoring their opponents 26-0. Wins over Waconia and New Prague, who historically have been 2 of the worst teams in the Metro West Conference. But that being said, it's still been an impressive start for the Red Knights. But this is their first real test here tonight against Maple Grove. Here's a chance from the sideboards. Picked up there along the wall by Fisher, who just recently committed to Assumption University to play D1 hockey. Held in at the point and back down to the corner. Emerson Rock trying to hold. It's cleared down by Benilde. They'll get a change here. Rock will stay out on the ice for the Red Knights. Crimson backhand it to the line. Can't clear as Larson able to keep it in there for Benilde St. Margaret's. Back down into the corner. Off the near wall. That one's going to ricochet off a stick. Back out through center. Nyberg will send it over for Bendixson now. For Benilde, the turnover at center. Crimson trying to settle the puck there. Unable to do so as Larson will send this one in on goal. Prosser will turn that one away. Battled for there by Tomlinson. Now bounced off the wall. Go past Nyberg, who will race to it there in the corner. Dorn in there for Maple Grove. Good pressure put on here by the Crimson, but it is Strathman who will send it out. That was tipped off a stick, and so no icing will be called as we'll continue play here in what's been a very active first period for both these teams. 4 shots for Benilde St. Margaret's, 3 for Maple Groves. The Krychek had it go off a stick. It'll come back out through center where it'll be played now by Claire Ryan. Turnover in the corner. After it is Bryn Heising, tied for the team lead so far with 7 goals is Heising. D now from the point. Ryan's shot scores! Oh, what a shot. May have been deflected on the way through, but the Red Knights strike first, 1-0 here on home ice. Check out this shot here from Claire Ryan. And it may have gone off a defender's stick, perhaps. Definitely looked like it changed direction in the air. But Benilde St. Margaret's will take it. 1-0 lead for the Red Knights. Goal number 2 on the season for Ryan. So a quick start. Just about 6 minutes into the game. Claire Ryan from Claire Dooley, as you heard the public address announcer say. Claire squared there. So the single assist going to Dooley on the even strength goal. Maple Grove now looking for a quick response. Shot there is gloved up out of midair. Nicely done by Emma Maddock. Well, we've talked about the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights a little bit in their hot start. Let's talk about the Maple Grove Crimson. Their games have been a little bit closer, but they are coming off a 3-1 win over River Cities. They beat Moorhead 3-1, and then in their season opener beat Alexandria 2-1. So they've allowed 1 goal in each of the first 3 games, and already a goal allowed here by the Crimson. We expected this one to be a tight one throughout. Now Hansen into the zone for Benilde St. Margaret's, the University of Minnesota commit. Now Bendixson with a hard shot that goes off the glass. Great puck movement here by the Red Knights in the offensive zone. Cycled back down low. Intended target was Zakrajcek, who continues to battle there for Benilde St. Margaret's. Now off the wall. Red Knights still controlling the tempo here after the early goal from Claire Ryan, her 2nd of the year. Now Zakrajcek back out front, was looking for Hansen. Another try from Bendixson goes wide. Will come to the hash marks where it's settled back in deep by Heising, who will come off for a change. Fresh line out there for the Red Knights. Sent off the boards. And now Nyberg will pick it up. Good hard pass over to Rock, who's into the zone. That one knocked off the stick of Rock behind the net. Prosser able to help guide that back as Maple Grove comes now through center. This is Smith, who will dump it into the zone. Ada Gettle on it as well for the Crimson. Still working there behind the net. Benilde to the boards, trying to clear this out. That was offside, so they'll have a delayed offside here. And Maple Grove will be called for that offsides here. 8:59 to go in the first period. There was a little confusion, I think, with the Crimson. They had some players that came off for the offside, but obviously not all of them. So we get the whistle and a reset here in the neutral zone. Dumped back into the zone by Dorn. Dooley now takes a hard collision along the wall. Couple of players from both squads in there digging to get this one free. In behind the net now, Ryan after it, the goal scorer for Benilde St. Margaret's. Good work by Sukup to get that one out from the corner. It's turned over though, and the Red Knights will advance through center. Strong stick by Madsen. Able to dump that one into the zone. Crimson looking to break out now as they target that left wing side. It was deflected. No icing here as Maddock will leave it for the Red Knights. 8:10 to go, just a little bit closer to the halfway mark now of this first period. A 1-0 lead for Benilde St. Margaret's. A delayed offside here for the Red Knights. Crimson will take it as they move through center. Stretch pass again, just missed. This time headed for Hadley Baker, but it'll go down for an icing against Maple Grove. 7:53 remaining here in the first period of play. Maple Grove and Benilde St. Margaret's, first and only meeting of the season between these two non-conference clubs. Of course, Maple Grove is now part of the Lake Conference this year. That just took place over the off-season, and of course Benilde St. Margaret's a part of the Metro West Conference. So a non-conference battle, and both these teams have loaded schedules, this being one of those challenging games for both of these teams here tonight in this early season matchup. Back to the corner, Gallagher trying to play it for Maple Grove. Heising in there. Puck is worked free now. Hadley Baker will come across center ice, wearing the C on the sweater for the Crimson. Now Baker pressured behind the net. Puck will be freed up. Crimson at the blue line. The shot deflected, didn't get through to the goaltender Maddock. Now off the boards. Backhanded nicely up the wall as the Crimson aim to keep this one. Scrum now along the sideboards trying to dig it free. Does finally pop free there. Now to the point, that shot nicely blocked by Heising. Puck still loose, trying to crawl her way in. It's a scramble for it in front. Now it finally jumps on the stick of Zakrajcek, who will clear that one down for an icing for the Red Knights. One of the better chances here in the early going for Maple Grove, as they look to respond after the Benilde St. Margaret's goal by Claire Ryan, the senior defender, one of just a few seniors on this Benilde team. It's a very young team for Benilde St. Margaret's. They lost a lot of players from last year's team that, of course, had that great season. Only losses, I think they only had 4 losses last season, so great year for the Red Knights before losing in the section final to the Edina Hornets. Now up the boards. This one taken behind the net by Rock, who reverses course, but it's turned over. Rock got it back. Working to get that out along the wall is Benilde St. Margaret's, and they do. Maddie Elfstrand now for Maple Grove. Flipped into the zone. Sukup will get it deep. Red Knights back in the defensive zone here. Nyberg on it for Benilde. Shot attempt got broken up, and I think it may have been lost in the equipment of one of the players. Referee lost sight of it there, so do things over again. And yes, it did end up in one of the Maple Grove players. So neutral zone face-off after the lost puck has been found. Maple Grove, of course, as we mentioned, members of the Lake Conference this year, so they'll take on the likes of Edina, Minnetonka, Eden Prairie, and more a couple of times. Back into the zone. Here's a quick chance. Maddock the save. Rebound is steered away by Dooley, who made a nice play defensively. Now to the line, another deflection. That one's over the top, so Krychek gets to it. Good keep by the Crimson, poking that one forward. Got caught in the skates there of Anderson, who will backhand it. Now up to the point. Baker just able to keep that one for Maple Grove. Harper Weineke now. Pass moved over from Fisher and gloved there by Maddock. Off the shot from Fiona Gallagher of Maple Grove, one of 4 different college commits on this Maple Grove team. Benilde St. Margaret's has 3 as well. So 7 different players committed to D1 colleges here between these 2 teams tonight. A lot of great, talented players here that you're seeing on your screen. Laid offside. Red Knights will take it up anyway. Ryan now into the zone. Down the wing, a hard shot is gloved there by the goaltender Prosser. Junior goaltender in her 4th straight game to open the year for Maple Grove. Again, that .946 save percentage, just the 1 goal allowed for her in each of the first 3 games. 4:45 now to go in this first period. Off the faceoff and taken by Tomlinson. University of St. Thomas commit. Another one of those commits is Tomlinson. 5 assists already this year for Tomlinson. Had multiple assists the last couple of games for Maple Grove. Chance back out in front. They were looking for Rock. And now Maple Grove will do just enough to get it out, but Benilde will retake possession. Backhanded up the boards. Crimson tried to stretch the ice. That's broken up by a skate. Collision there as Rock couldn't get into the zone. Stumped in by Weltzen. Delayed offside for Benilde as they will tag up. Maple Grove now will skate it forward. Out through center. Tomlinson, good speed into the zone. Tomlinson's shot blocked there by Weltzen. Larson in there as well. And a turnover. Baker in prime position and hit the side of the net. Dangerous play there. Baker now back up to the point. Puck finds Weineke. Another try. Back down low for Weineke. Will send it off the boards, but not too much power on that pass as it'll get stuck up along those far boards. Time continues to tick away here. 3:24 left in the first. Up to the point. Pretty easy save made there by Maddock, who will get another whistle as we're down to 3:19 to go here in the first. 1-0 in favor of the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights on home ice here. Claire Ryan with her 2nd goal of the season. That is the difference right now in this one. Shots on goal are 7-5 in favor of Maple Grove. That one rolls towards Maddock off the skate of Baker. Baker leading the team, 5 goals this year. Merrimack College commit. Referee is going to change face-off circle here for Maple Grove. It is now Kate Fisher who will take over for Baker. Off the wall now. Face-off win. Trying to go back down low was Weineke. Gets to the wall. And into the corner. Heising will take it. Under some pressure though. Stick lifts galore there for both teams. Baker goes down. Maple Grove able to keep it in momentarily, but then cleared down the length of the ice. Good speed by Gallagher. Racing to get that one first as she'll spin away from the oncoming pressure. Red Knights take over. Hansen Out to the back doors. Zakrajchak couldn't find the stick there. At the point, Red Knights will dump this one in deep. Nyberg now sent off the glass, cleared down by Maple Grove. It's going to go just wide of the goaltender Maddock for an icing against Maple Grove. So we'll go back down to their end here. 2:14 to go in the first period. Coverage tonight on KARE 11 Plus, brought to you in part by Xcel Energy, Topline Credit Union, St. Cloud State University. We appreciate their support in making these broadcasts possible here tonight. Also want to give a special shout out to the Benilde St. Margaret's partners, Fortis Academy, training to enhance sports performance. Learn more about how Fortis is changing the game at thefortisacademy.com. Benilde back into the zone. Crimson will get this one deep now. And we're going to have another icing call against Maple Grove. So back down to their end of the ice as we're exactly 2 minutes to go in the first. Also, the action brought to you in part tonight by ResTech. Home and commercial automation for luxury Minnesota homes. Create the ideal atmosphere with brilliantly dynamic lighting and shading control throughout your home with an automation company. Learn more at ResTech, RESTECH, systems.com. Maple Grove will force this one out. No icing calls. The referee waves it off. Down to the final 2 minutes here of the opening period. 1-0 lead for the Red Knights of Benilde St. Margaret's. 2-on-1 developing. Here's Hansen holding, and what a stop made by Prosser. Just got enough of it to keep it out. Weltson now will go D-to-D at center. Hansen always so dangerous with the puck on her stick, and decided to keep it there, but goaltender Prosser comes up big. 1:20 to go now in the first. Good bank pass up ahead. Heising holds the line. Drop back. Wetson looking for the redirect. Prosser made the save into the corner. Zakrajchak intercepted there by Hadley Baker, who will race ahead. Baker into the zone, pulls the trigger. That one missed. Wide left of Maddock. 1 minute to go now in the first here at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Red Knights will take it out. Emerson Rock, 4 goals already for her to start the year. Crimson now will go forward. Baker back in for Maple Grove, drops it back. Here's the shot blocker save. It is punched away there by Maddock. That is her 9th save of this opening period. Now Baker, another save. Maddock, puck loose in front and just scooped wide. Red Knights clear to the boards, but not out. Baker able to keep. Another try is tossed on goal, and Maddock will hold on with 20.3 seconds left here in this first period. Maple Grove with some of their best chances here in the opening period toward the end of this first period. Coverage also tonight for Benilde St. Margaret's, brought to you in part by Switchback Foods. Healthy smoothies that are surprisingly good and ridiculously easy. Learn more about their flavors and get started today by visiting switchbackfoods.com. Red Knights, one last chance here in the first period. This one down into the corner as Zakrajchak will take it. It's Gallagher now, 5 seconds to go, and the Crimson will be content to just hold it here for the end of the first period. 1-0 lead for Benilde St. Margaret's on home ice. Claire Ryan, the goal scorer, her second of the season, with the single assist going to Claire Dooley. So the Claires get in on the scoring for Benilde St. Margaret. Shots on goal in the first period were 11-7 in favor of Maple Grove. Great period here from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. We look forward to seeing what period number 2 has to offer between these two teams. We'll take a break here on MN Hockey TV and KARE 11 Plus. I'm Matt Harrington with you here from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. 1-0 lead for the Red Knights after one. We'll be back in just a little bit for the start of the second period.
With hockey-specific assisted stretch, my job is to find the muscles in your body that are overactive, that are tight, that are bothering our athletes, our student athletes. So we assess the muscles that are too tight in their body, and then we are able to stretch them out physically to make them feel better, increase their performance.
With those lower body workouts, it kind of nags at me, but ever since we started to do the stretches, that's almost gone away, and each time it gets a little better, which has been really awesome.
When they have the opportunity to get on the table and experience it for themselves, all of our student athletes have come back and said, wow, this has really changed the performance in both my exercises off the ice and what they're doing on the ice.
I feel like definitely I've had more flexibility, and I feel like my body overall has felt a lot better after the past couple of days after it's happened. I think I've really seen a big increase in my speed because I'm more flexible and agility and that kind of thing.
I have really tight hamstrings, so that when we do that to start every time, I feel a lot better leaving than when I came in.
Like you, we believe preparation, dedication, and teamwork lead to success. At Xcel Energy, we're proud to power high school sports across Minnesota.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, they've been a part of their members' big moments for 90 years. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, starting a business, or maybe getting married. Interest-only home equity lines of credit can make it happen. It's just one of the many ways that they're helping their members achieve their financial dreams and love the home that they're in. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of yours too. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
My grandfather opened our doors in 1930. Ever since, we've had one main goal: keeping customers and their families comfortable. Comfort isn't just about temperature, it's about your peace of mind working with us. Our reputation is built on quality work, integrity, and a team of experts second to none. We stand behind our guarantees, our work, and our people. That's been true for over 90 years. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Score is 1-0 in favor of the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights in this girls hockey top 11 clash. Of course, Maple Grove ranked number 6. Benilde St. Margaret's ranked number 7 in the state entering tonight in girls class AA. Thanks for joining us here on MN Hockey TV and KARE 11+. Matt Harrington with you here for this one. Just one goal so far in the game, and that was a goal for Claire Ryan. And let's take a look at that goal right now. Good shot here from Ryan, and it may have been deflected on the way through. Definitely looked like, at least in real time, that it changed direction. But of course, Benilde St. Margaret's will take it either way. And we have a 1-0 lead for the Red Knights as we get ready to roll with period number 2. Just the one goal so far. No penalties in this game either, as both teams have stayed out of the penalty box up to this point. So here we go for period number 2. Teams switch sides as the Red Knights enter the zone. Heising will dump it in for Benilde. Now Zakrajcek back to the point. Deflected off the stick of Nyberg as that'll come back out through center. And Maple Grove now will come back into the zone. Baker dropping it back. That one steered away off the attempt from Fisher. Now Baker in the corner will cycle it back down low. Hansen able to get to it first for the Red Knights. Maple Grove, though, able to push it back deep. Bendixson on the clearing attempt. Intercepted. Bendixson will take it again and now get that puck out as it's connected with Heising. Nice feed. Now Hansen back for Heising. Pad save made. Now back the other way for Maple Grove. This is Kate Fisher. Fisher trying to wheel her way in there. Ran into a little bit of space, but couldn't get through as it's cleared up ahead. This is going to be an icing against the Red Knights. We'll go back down to their end as we're minute 10 seconds in to the second period. So we mentioned at the end of the first, shots on goal are 11-7 right now in favor of Maple Grove, despite the fact that they are trailing in this game 1-0 off the Ryan goal. Red Knights will now skate through center. Madsen will push it into the Crimson zone as it's cycled back up along the near wall. Backhanded up the boards by Sukup. Ryan and Rock in there to help keep it in for Benilde. Down to the corner it goes now. Red Knights, and that's poked away. Now a chance the other way for Maple Grove. Here's the shot and just sent wide. Off the attempt there from Dorn, it looked like, for the Crimson. Golden opportunity for Maple Grove to try and get back in the game. Now the puck picked up behind the net by Anderson. Anderson is turned over. Benilde will move out. Player went down, but no penalty called. Baker back in with speed down the wing. Maddock makes a big save. Rebound cleaned up in front by the Red Knights as Madsen helps guide that one out. Good pressure here from the Crimson to start this period. And now Benilde will try to get to it along the boards. The Baker line still out there. Presumably the top line for the Crimson as they'll go up the boards now. This is Strothman. Out it comes now through center. Tomlinson will skate into the zone for Maple Grove. Tomlinson down the wing. On it for the Crimson. Face some pressure. Back to the point. Elfstrand lets that one fly as it hits the glass. Picked up along the left wing side now. Baker trying to go back for Anderson, who will scoot it to the corner. Gets to it first. Back up top. There's a chance. Redirected. Maddock the save. Still down. Puck loose behind the net. It'll be picked up by Benilde. And bounced out the boards. Intended for Strothman, but it's going to go down for an icing against the Red Knights here with 13:47 to go. I want to remind you tonight's coverage of Hockey Night in Minnesota on KARE 11+ and MN Hockey TV, brought to you in part by XL Energy, Top Line Credit Union, We appreciate their support. And of course, Standard Heating and Air and St. Cloud State University as well, making tonight's broadcast possible. 1-0 lead for Benilde St. Margaret's. It's been a good start to the period, though, for Maple Grove. Tomlinson raced in to keep it, but it was not held. Crimson will have to tag up here. And now taken through center. Here's Bendixson over the line. Trying to find a Heising. Hansen on the backhand. Just sent that one over the shoulder of the goaltender, Prosser. Tala Hansen, so special for this Red Knights team. Of course, a junior this year. Committed to the University of Minnesota a couple of months ago. And of course, she'll be a big add as a hometown player for the Gophers. Stretch pass here. Intercepted by Fisher. Now Zakrajcek will go back, trying to find Heising as that one's tipped into the zone. Maple Grove will stay on it here. As they go up the wall, Gifford trying to send it across. Poked away at the line by Rock, who sends it off the far boards for Benilde. Dumped right back in, though, but it's an offside call here. 12:40 left to go in the second period. Not sure if they are not keeping track of shots anymore, but it says the shots are the exact same as they were in the first. That is not the case. Maple Grove has definitely had a few shots here in the second period, so that is not entirely accurate. As Fisher now will get it deep. Good work to steal that one away. Bounced out of the zone now. Crimson come back 2-on-2 into the zone. Quick chance, blocker save, Maddock off the Anderson shot. Cycled around now to the near boards. Along the wall. Benilde trying to clear the zone rather. It's Maple Grove trying to keep, and they do. Here's Maggie Gifford for the Crimson. Into the corner now as we're under 12 minutes to go in the second. Up top. Shot from Gallagher doesn't get through. To the boards now. Ryan sends that one all the way down. This should have enough for an icing call here. No, it won't. This actually looked like it got deflected off a Crimson stick. Stretch pass here. Tipped into the zone by Fisher. Maddock will leave it here for Dooley for the Red Knights. Poke check there by Baker. We'll get that back in deep for the Crimson. Now Tomlinson on it. Tomlinson deflected. Baker trying to settle it down. Good defensive stick from Heising there for Benilde St. Margaret's. Now another try through traffic, rolling around and steered away to the boards. Heising able to find the exit lane. Here comes Hansen into the zone. Hansen's shot stopped by Prosser. Rebound pushed away. Prosser had to get back in position quickly there to make the save. Another try off the boards for the Red Knights. This time Maple Grove will clear it down. No icing. That was a perfect clear. Just enough on that puck to avoid the icing call for Maple Grove. The Red Knights will dump it back into the zone here. Poked up the wall now by Weltson. Also in there for Maple Grove, Coach Shire. 10:35 left to go here in the second. Sent off the boards. Now Benilde St. Margaret's will tip that one out. No icing, says the referee. So that'll allow Benilde to get pretty much a full sail change here. As they stretch the ice now, Maple Grove. Coach Shire in over the line. Stolen away by the Red Knights, who turned the page back the other way. Dumped back into the zone now by Rexstead. It's backhanded up the wall. On it now is Bendixson. Up the wall, turned over into the hands of Gallagher, who will get that one deep. Delayed offside for Maple Grove. They are in the middle of a change, and because of the long change in this second period, they had to wait a little bit longer than normal. So both teams changing quite a bit on the fly here. They just stay onside as they enter the zone. Off the skate of Bendixson on the attempt there. Another opportunity will go to the boards. 9:20 left here in the first. or the second, pardon me, loose puck. Oh, it didn't go. That puck was sitting on the goal line and nobody could put it home. Crimson still attacking. Moving in, the shot is high from Tomlinson. Oh my goodness. Redirect scores! Abby Peterson got a piece of it in front. Maple Grove has tied it up here in the second. Take a look at this shot here. This is just a good offensive sequence from the Crimson, and definitely was redirected by Peterson. And so the hard work for the Crimson pays off as they've tied it up here with 9:02 to go in the second. What a play for Maple Grove as they want more here right after the goal. Peterson from Elfstrand, the official scoring there for Maple Grove as they tie things up. Another try. Here's a big blast from the point. Maddock the save. And now the Red Knights will take it out. This has been all Crimson the last couple minutes as Tomlinson and Rock will race to get to that loose puck. Maple Grove has come out strong here to start this period. In fact, we're near the halfway mark already of the second period. Now a 1-1 game. Chopped at the line. Red Knights trying to get it out. Good pressure from Maple Grove as it goes to the corner now. Here's a shot well wide of Maddock. Pinching in is Anderson. Now Anderson behind the net for Maple Grove. Try to go out front. It's loose. Red Knights will pick it up, steer it off the boards, but not out. Tough break there for the Red Knights. Just couldn't get any air on that clearance. Now giveaway, but it's taken back now by Madsen. Red Knights finally able to clear the zone. Maple Grove will hammer it back in. Maddock behind the net. Red Knights desperately needed a change to get a couple skaters off. Maple Grove now will dump it back in. 7:35 left here in the second period. Crimson have tied it up on the goal from Peterson, her first of the year for Maple Grove. Now Hansen holding. Good defensive stick from Gallagher breaking that up. There's a Krychek in there as well for Benilde. To the point now, pinching in. Save made by Prosser. Glove down. Crimson trying to clear, and they are unable to do so. So Krychek toward the front. Prosser again making another save. Hansen in on the forecheck here as well. Heising as this top line for Benilde works now in the corner. Along the boards, off the skate of Hansen. There's a Krychek there as well. It'll be dumped out by Maple Grove, and that'll go for an icing as we get breaking the action here. 6:48 to go in this second period. A 1-1 game here at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Want to remind you tonight's coverage is presented in part by Fortis Academy, training to enhance sports performance. Learn more about how Fortis is changing the training game at thefortisacademy.com. What a phenomenal game this has been here tonight between these two teams. This non-conference matchup, number 6 versus number 7. Crimson, but they'll exit the zone. Koshire will dump it in. Puck pops out. Strothman could be a 2. Oh, tough break for the Red Knights as they had numbers the other way. Cycled up the boards. Bendixson shot is blocked. Loose puck and a foot race for it now. Fisher trying to get there. Instead, it is Nyberg who went hard into the boards. Penalty coming here to Maple Grove. Ooh, that was a rough collision with the Maple Grove player, and there is certainly going to be a penalty here. Kate Fisher was trying to win the foot race, and they might add more than just 2 minutes here. Nyberg is down currently for Benilde. Good to see Nyberg back up on her feet here. Scary scene. And see if we can catch the collision on the tail end. And you see Fisher was trying to get to the puck and just got way too physical. And there is 2 minutes up on the clock, but I think referees are discussing about maybe assessing a major penalty here to Kate Fisher. So 6:02 left in the period. And they may be changing this penalty, I think, here to a major based on the indication from the official. It was a very strong check, and there is a 5-minute major penalty on the board now that's been assessed to Kate Fisher. And obviously Fisher, one of Maple Grove's top players. So Nyberg being checked out by the training staff right now, but we do have a major penalty on the board for Maple Grove. So it'll be a 5-minute continuous power play for Benilde St. Margaret's here late in the second. Fisher in the box, 5 minutes of power. So Fisher with a 5-minute major for boarding. And the Red Knights, as we mentioned, continuous power play, so they can score over and over again. Fisher has to serve the full 5 minutes. Behind the net now. 5:40 to go here in the first. Crimson trying to clear. That one jumps the stick of Hansen. And it'll go down for an icing here, I believe. Or maybe it was played with a high stick, I believe. Right now, Nelson is being checked out by the training staff in the other penalty box. And obviously there was no penalty assessed to the Red Knights. So face-off in the Benilde zone. Definitely got quiet in here. It was a scary scene after the collision there. Hansen. How's the cry check? Still a lot of time to go. 4:20 on the Red Knight power play. Hansen drops it back. Here's the cry check. Over now for Hansen. Top power play unit out for the Red Knights. Played out front. Heising trying to get it on the backhand. Diving around. And that's just going to hop the stick. And come back out through center as Hansen will take it. About a minute gone on the 5-minute power play for Benilde. Poke check from Tomlinson. Didn't get to it first, though. Wrapped around by Hansen. It's a cry check up for Madsen. We'll send it over. Heising down the wing toward the front. Loose puck at the side. Still working, and they were going for a cry check out front. As the puck will squeak back out to center. Madsen. Maple Grove trying to get a fresh penalty killer on, and they do. As it's sent deep by Benson. 3:20 left on the Red Knight power play. The major penalty assessed to Kate Fisher for boarding. Dumped into the zone. I want high off the glass. Another clear by the Crimson. As Maddock will leave this one behind here. So if this were a normal 2-minute penalty, the penalty would have been over, but of course, still 2:50 to go on this major. Dumped in deep there. This has been a good penalty kill so far for the Crimson. Still a long way to go. Up top now for Preston, who will move forward. Addie Preston, 2 goals already. They're offside here at the blue line. So whistle with 2:36 left in the major power play, 3:37 to go in the period. This is, by the way, the second period. The in-arena scoreboard shows the first period. That is incorrect, and technology is reading the in-arena scoreboard and then transmitting those numbers onto the broadcast. So it may say P1, but it is indeed the second period here. Bounced off the wall. Another puck deep by the Crimson. Cycled up the boards now. Bendixson. Turnover. Here's Baker. Short-handed, just wide of Maddock. As Baker will eat it up along the boards, kill some more of that penalty time. As we're now under 2 minutes to go in the major power play. Baker again just continuing to hold this puck before the Red Knights finally get to it. As Claire Ryan will race ahead. She had the goal earlier to open the scoring. Ryan holding it now. Sends that one to the corner off a deflection. Now picked up along the wall. The Red Knights will go down to the corner. Hansen, nice feed over. Madsen will hold and look for other options. Now Heising, waiting for Benilde, tipped in front. Nice save, Prosser. Covered that up cleanly with no rebound available there for the Red Knights. So Prosser has been good on this penalty kill for Maple Grove. So we're down to 1:14 in the penalty, 2:15 in the period. So there will be about a minute left once this power play expires in the middle frame. Tomlinson now battling in the corner. Now worked up the boards. Zakrajcek up to the point. Hansen and Zakrajcek down low. Banked off the wall. Back down low. Tough angle shot. It's loose in front. Crimson able to get it out to the top of the circle, but Hansen will scoop it back deep. Banked back for Hansen. Hansen, good move to get around the defender. Still with it now as Madsen's got it. Across, the shot off the crossbar. Emerson Rock nearly finding the back of the net there. Now Madsen, off a skate to the back door, just missed. Two chances for Rock to take the lead, but couldn't get that one flat on the stick. 13 seconds left on the power play. Hansen's pass, not enough juice, and picked off. Here comes Weineke into the zone. What a move. Weineke over the top. Great look. Actually, I believe that was Tomlinson for Maple Grove. Crimson back to full strength out of the box. Here comes Fisher now. Fresh out of the box toward the front. Got hooked on the way there. Penalty is going to be coming here to Benilde. Puck loose on the ice. And Fisher, who just got out of the box, drew the penalty for holding. So it's Maple Grove's turn to go on the power play here. So Red Knights will go to the box here. Penalty will be on Madsen of the Red Knights. So 48.4 seconds left here in the period, and we'll get a power play for Maple Grove. Action tonight brought to you in part by ResTech, home and commercial automation for luxury Minnesota homes. Create the ideal atmosphere with brilliant lighting and shading throughout your home. Learn more at restechsystems.com. So Madsen on a holding penalty. Crimson on the power play this time. Here's Elfstrand over to the wing. Baker holding on to it for Maple Grove. Back down low to the corner. As they go back up top, just too much on the pass. It'll roll out of the zone here with 28 seconds left in the period. Tie up in the corner. Tomlinson in there, as well as looks like Dooley for Benilde, just eating away this final 30 seconds or so of the period. Tomlinson gets it free. 10 seconds left. Crimson will have to hurry. Fisher leaves it off. Drop pass. One last chance, and that will do it, as the shot would not have counted there from Elfstrand. So that is going to wrap it up here for the second period. Wild period. We saw the Crimson tie the game Then it was a major penalty assessed to Kate Fisher of Maple Grove. Benilde had a 5-minute power play, could not score. And now Maple Grove, 48 seconds into a power play of their own. They'll have a minute 12 left that will carry over into the third period. A 1-1 game here in St. Louis Park. It's been a great And thanks for joining us here on KARE 11 Plus and MN Hockey TV. I'm Matt Harrington with you here from St. Louis Park. We'll take a break for the second intermission. 1-1 your score after 2 between Benilde St. Margaret's and Maple Grove. We'll be right back right after this.
With hockey-specific assisted stretch, my job is to find the muscles in your body that are overactive, that are tight, that are bothering our athletes, our student athletes. So we assess the muscles that are too tight in their body, and then we are able to stretch them out physically to make them feel better, increase their performance.
With those lower body workouts, it kind of nags at me, but ever since we started to do the stretches, that's almost gone away, and each time it gets a little better, which has been really awesome.
When they have the opportunity to get on the table and experience it for themselves, all of our student athletes have come back and said, wow, this has really changed the performance in both my exercises off the ice and what they're doing on the ice.
I feel like definitely I've had more flexibility, and I feel like my body overall has felt a lot better after the past couple of days after it's happened. I think I've really seen a big increase in my speed because I'm more flexible and agility and that kind of thing.
I have really tight hamstrings, so that when we do that to start every time, I feel a lot better leaving than when I came in.
Like you, we believe preparation, dedication, and teamwork lead to success. At XL Energy, we're proud to power high school sports across Minnesota.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, they've been a part of their members' big moments for 90 years. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, starting a business, or maybe getting married. Interest-only home equity lines of credit can make it happen. It's just one of the many ways that they're helping their members achieve their financial dreams and love the home that they're in. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of yours too. Visit toplinecu.com because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
My grandfather opened our doors in 1930. Ever since, we've had one main goal: keeping customers and their families comfortable. Comfort isn't just about temperature, it's about your peace of mind working with us. Our reputation is built on quality work, integrity, and a team of experts second to none. We stand behind our guarantees, our work, and our people. That's been true for over 90 years. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Welcome back to the St. Louis Park Rec Center here in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Score is 1-1 after 2 between Benilde St. Margaret's and the Maple Grove Crimson. Thanks for joining us here tonight on MN Hockey TV and KARE 11 Plus. This has been a very entertaining game so far. We'll kind of take you through the goal scoring summary in this one. Just 2 goals, 1 in each period. First for Benilde St. Margaret's. It was a shot from Claire Ryan that was maybe off a defender's stick in front, but Ryan still gets the goal. And Benilde St. Margaret's took that 1-0 lead into the second period of play. And then in the second period, Maple Grove came out hot, and they got the tying goal from Abby Peterson, her first point of the year, first goal of the year as well, of course. And as a result, we've got a tie game going into the third period. And of course, we had a major penalty that was assessed to Maple Grove as well. It was to Kate Fisher for boarding. So Fisher served her 5 minutes in the box. Benilde was unable to score on the power play. And then about 15 seconds after that penalty ended, Benilde took a penalty of their own. And it was a holding call against Dana Madsen of the Red Knights. So Benilde and Maple Grove 1-1 here. Maple Grove will start on the power play for 1 minute and 12 seconds as we are underway in the third period. Big non-conference matchup between these two. Of course, the Crimson out of the Lake Conference and Maple Grove, or pardon me, and Benilde St. Margaret's out of the Metro West. Dumped in by Tomlinson behind the Benilde net here. As the Crimson aim to get set up on this power play. Forced off along the boards. Bank to the point. Work to the right hash. Now across. Tomlinson. That's blocked by Bendixson, who stepped in front of it for Benilde. Down to the corner off the stick. Weineke tried to get it there. It's cleared out. Bendixson might have an angle, but not going to quite be able to get there as Elfstrand was on it for Maple Grove. So 22 seconds left on the Crimson power play. Tipped into the zone. Baker trying to get to it first. Also in there is Fisher. Now Fisher finds an open lane to the back door. Here's Baker, saved by Maddock. Great setup from the Crimson, but goaltender Emma Maddock makes the stop. For Maddock, that is just the second goal allowed all season for her, by the way, for Maple, that Maple Grove scored. Only other goal that the Red Knights gave up was to Gentry Academy back in their first game of the year. So outscoring opponents 36-1. And again, we mentioned the schedule. It has definitely been an easier start to the year for the Red Knights, but it is going to beef up quite a bit here starting tonight. Red Knights back to full strength. Power play over for Maple Grove. So both teams 0 for 1 tonight on the power play. Now Bryn Heising into the zone with speed. Just lost that one on the tail end of the stick. Gallagher goes to the boards. Cycled up the walls. A Krychek trying to work there for Benilde. Now into the hands of Koshire. Forced out by Dorn, who will get it deep for Maple Grove. Shots on goal say 11-7, but that was after the first period. For some reason, the in-arena staff did not update the shots in the second. So unfortunately, we don't have those for you. So Krychek, oh, close play, but they are just offside at the blue line. So we'll come out to the neutral zone after the offside call against the Red Knights. Want to remind you tonight's coverage brought to you in part by Switchback Foods. Healthy smoothies that are surprisingly good and ridiculously easy to make. Learn more about their flavors and get started today by visiting switchbackfoods.com. Red Knights send it up as it's deflected by Nelson. Back out through center. Here's Baker cutting through. Here's Baker, scores! Hadley Baker, what a goal. 2-1, Maple Grove leads here in the third. Excellent play Hi, Hadley Baker. That's her 6th goal of the season here in game number 4 for Maple Grove. And you see just finding a way to cut in, split the gap, and Baker with the even strength goal as the Crimson have their first lead of this hockey game here, 2-1 in the middle period. Weineke with the assist there, as it's a lead for Maple Grove here in the third. See how the Red Knights respond. You think about that opportunity too for Benilde on the power play. They had some good looks. They hit the post on one of their opportunities. Now couldn't be held. Maple Grove will take it out. Trying to go inside out here on the defender. The shot over the top of Emma Maddock. How's a Krychek up with Heising. Good move in the zone. Gallagher. That one dumped out and poked away. Here come the the Crimson, and the shot goes wide off the attempt there. Good look for Fisher off the boards. Maple Grove been dominating here the last couple minutes. That goal has given them some juice. Another deflection up in the air. Where is it? Settled on the backhand now by Fisher. Up to the point. Redirect sent wide off the stick of Baker. Now Benilde trying to go and clear this one out. Crimson continue to work. This is Weineke battling down in the corner. Tie up for that puck with Bendixson. Bounced off the boards. It's all Crimson right now. Into the corner off the side of the net. Referee going to blow this dead. I think the net came off its moorings there. And so that's why the play stops. A much needed whistle for the Red Knights, who will finally be able to get that set of players off the ice, get some fresh legs out there. So 2-1 Maple Grove here, 13:02 left in the third period. Clean face-off win for the Crimson. Back toward the front. Forced to the line, but not out as it's kept in. Gifford will work down low for Maple Grove. Red Knights stuck in their own end here. Gifford still working along the near wall. Physical play along the boards. Freeing up that puck there was Larson for Benilde. Gifford back on it though. Now off the wall. Still continuing to work in the zone is Maple Grove. Big windup here from Tomlinson, but it's no problem for Maddock, who makes the save. Maddock has been very good tonight. Both goaltenders have. But Maddock has certainly been the busier of the two, at least in the second and third period so far. Off the face-off now. That one jumps the stick of Ryan. Red Knights trying to clear. And that puck sitting on the blue line, finally forced out by Benilde St. Margaret's. Dumped back in. Ryan is back to get it. Weltson as well, as that one's off a Maple Grove player. Took a funny bounce as it goes to the corner, battling there. Sukup for Maple Grove. Now Tomlinson pinching in. Easy Tomlinson had it go off a skate. It's going to come back out to the neutral zone and be settled down here by Claire Ryan. Weltson back into the zone. Red Knights finally back into the offensive end here, as it's worked up the boards now by Gallagher. Trying to clear. Heising in deep. Heising back out front. Ooh, tough bounce in front. That puck was maybe loose a little bit still. But Prosser gets the whistle, and we'll have a face-off to her right with 11:24 to go in the period. Maple Grove taking the early lead Both teams have had one power play chance. Benilde had a major power play earlier, but could not score. Off a skate now. Spun around. Hansen will echo that one off the boards. Now Heising down the wing. All sorts of pressure there. Puck is freed up and taken out of the zone. Weineke races in. Gliding over the line. Weineke's shot got deflected wide by Dooley. Now Dooley will bank it off the boards. Aiming for Zakrajcek, but couldn't clear. Back out in front. Off a skate. Dooley will again force it to the wall. Now out of the zone. Zakrajcek and Hansen will come forward now. Zakrajcek takes the open lane. Puck loose as it was blocked. And slapped back in deep by Preston. Now Hansen on it for Benilde. Up top, Chambliss. Crimson still working away, and they get that puck free. Baker outnumbered as she comes into the zone, gets the shot off. Nice, easy save made by Maddock. Now Chambliss. Up ahead, Zakrajcek will get it deep and come off for a line change. Down to single digits now as we're under 10 minutes. Here in the third, tie up for the Red Knights. Trying to get to it was Taylor Nelson. Shot from the point, redirected just wide of the goaltender Prosser. Nelson still in the mix there as well for Benilde. Crimson looked to stretch the ice. They did not find the recipient, Gifford, and so go back down toward the Maple Grove zone for an icing against the Crimson. Action tonight as well, also presented in part by Fortis Academy. Training to enhance sports performance. Learn more about how Fortis is changing the training game at thefortisacademy.com. 2-1 lead for Maple Grove here in this Thursday night game. Shot on goal is handled again by Prosser. Red Knights will be back in action on Tuesday of next week. They will be back here to host Wayzata. Trojans have had a nice start to the season so far. Tie up now as Tomlinson will help guide it out for Maple Grove. Back into the offensive zone. Puck settled at the line. Hansen, good wheels to the outside. Slams on the brakes. Weltson and lost it. Now Dorn trying to cut through the middle. Dorn able to get that off, but Hansen's stick deflected that one wide. Now Heising will play it here for Hansen down the wing. Dumped in, be cut off by goaltender Prosser. Foot race, Zakrajcek trying to get to it. Maple Grove will go up the wall. This is Sukup able to get it out. And now the puck freed up along the boards by Hansen, who will re-enter the zone. Or at least try to. She was stood up at the line. Almost halfway through the third now. In a 2-1 lead for the Crimson here. 2-1 answered. Bendixson battling now along the boards. Maple Grove, though, emerges free. Pushed forward by Smith. Down the wing toward the slot. Smith and Maddock will use the stick to steer it away. Smith back down low. Dooley will pick it up for Benilde as she reverses course. Up the wall. Madsen. That puck is poked out. Red Knights will take it. Dumped into the zone by Strothman, who just gets it deep. Now out through center. Maple Grove trying to reset here. That did not find the target. And we'll have an icing call against the Crimson here. 7:47 to go in this period. A reminder as well, coverage tonight brought to you in part by ResTech, home and commercial automation for luxury Minnesota homes. Create the ideal atmosphere, brilliantly dynamic lighting and shading control throughout your home. Learn more at restechsystems.com. Clean win off the faceoff for Maple Grove. Off of Baker's skate, not past the red line though. So we'll go back down to the Crimson zone. Wish we had updated shots for you. Unfortunately, we do not. And we're 11-7 at the end of the first period in favor of Maple Grove. I have to imagine Maple Grove is still comfortably in the lead in the shots on goal department. Red Knights still have plenty of time, though, to get that equalizer. 7:25 left here in the third. Rock dug out from the corner. Backhanded Tomlinson toward the front. Loose puck now. Baker goes back up top for Elfstrand. Elfstrand to the corner boards. Behind Fisher. Oh, big collision there with Bendixson, and the puck is loose in front and shot just high by Baker. Bendixson and Fisher collided there on that one. Remember, Fisher had the major penalty earlier here in this hockey game back in the second period. Red Knights and Crimson will change some players here on this line change. Puck handled by Zakrajcek near the center ice dot. Cycles off the boards. Now a play along the wall. Hansen trying to dig it free. Goes off a skate. Heising now sent over toward the boards. Up the wall now. Hansen will get it deep. 6:10 to go in the third. Puck freed up by Benilde. Here's Chambliss. D-to-D at the point. Here's the shot attempt. That one didn't get through, it looked like, to the goaltender Prosser. Puck will pop out. Recovered by Larson, who will now send it back in. After it for Maple Grove is Anderson. Player down for Benilde on the ice. No penalty called, though. We play on. Loose near the line. Red Knights will take it in their own end. Larson now looking to stretch the ice. Ooh, that worked out. Here's Heising. He shot, but no problem for Prosser. As Heising goes into the boards there with Gallagher. Those two working in the corner. Puck comes free. Launched toward goal, but not enough on it. Now Gettle will dump it in deep. Red Knights wanted an icing, but referees say no. Now into the corner. Worked up the wall. Here's Elfstrand. Redirected wide off the goaltender Maddock. Now under 5 minutes to go here in the third. Maple Grove holding on to a 2-1 lead. Red Knights had some chances earlier in the second period on a major power play, but could not convert. Elfstrand. Back for Maple Grove. Tomlinson now. Bounced ahead. Good feed for Gettle. Her shot will deflect into the netting and out of play here with 4:24 left in the third period. And Old St. Margaret's and Maple Grove here on Hockey Night Minnesota. On KARE 11 Plus and MN Hockey TV. Thanks for joining us here tonight. I'm Matt Harrington with you from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Special thank you to Xcel Energy, Topline Credit Union, St. Cloud State University, and Standard Heating and Air for their support here in making tonight's broadcast free of charge. Bounced off the boards. Now Preston working to clear for Benilde. Down low now for Ryan, who has the only Benilde goal. That was back in the opening period. Off a stick in front, Maddock the save. Now Tomlinson holds, dumped down low. Fisher from the right wing side. It ricochets up top. Elfstrand will settle it down. Nice work to get it back toward the front and backhanded over the top there by Weineke. As we get another whistle, Crimson getting close to an opportunity to take a 2-goal lead there, but unable to do so. we're starting to get to that point where the Red Knights will have to think about pulling their goaltender soon for the extra attacker. Still probably at least a minute, I would say, but much of the play has been down in this end of the ice, so we'll see if the Red Knights can get it out. Poked near the line. Now Hansen back for Benilde. Nice work up the boards. Zakrajcek back for Hansen. Benilde gets it out. They were looking for Heising. Now back in. Here's Dorn as it goes back behind the Red Knight net. Bendixson up the ball. Zakrajcek. And now it'll come back in for Dooley. With 3 minutes left here in regulation. Benilde trying to find the tying goal. But the Crimson continuing to push their own. Now could be numbers for Benilde. Hansen down the wing with speed. Hansen cuts toward the front, lets it go, but it didn't get through. Now we'll play along the boards. Zakrajcek for Benilde St. Margaret's. Maddox staying put in net for now. Dorn has that one go off a stick. It'll be forced in deep. Crimson will change things up. 5 new skaters out for Maple Grove. Stretch pass, dumped in by Zakrajcek, who will come off for a change. Picked up by Elfstrand with 2:17 left. Maple Grove maintaining a 2-1 edge here. Dump back to the line. Now Chambliss off the boards. 2 minutes to go here from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. We'll keep an eye on the goaltender, Emma Maddock, for Benilde to see if she comes to the bench for the extra attacker. Off the wall now. Hard collision there from Rock. Frees up that puck. Loose toward the slot. Baker turns around, fires. It's blocked. Doesn't get through. And now taken by Larson. Still can't get it out. Great play by Baker. Larson goes down hard. Puck kept in. That one's going to be played by the Red Knights. Nelson can't clear. Now it's finally out. Madsen will come off for a change, but the Red Knights can't get the goaltender off yet. Now Fisher, and that's deflected out of play. So I believe we're going to be getting a timeout here. Maybe the Red Knights will wait, see if they can get the goaltender off for the extra attacker. So there's, okay, Red Knights now have 5. They had a couple extra players out there for a moment, but here we go, 1:14 left. Red Knights get that win they've been needing, and now that will allow the goaltender Maddock to come off. Here comes Benilde into the zone. Cross ice pass for Zakrajcek, miss. Extra attacker out for the Red Knights. Maple Grove will send it down toward the empty net, and it just is wide. Oh man, that was just a couple inches away. We're gonna have a timeout here, presumably from head coach Kevin Gray and the Red Knights of Benilde St. Margaret's. Maybe not, deciding not to use the timeout here. So the Red Knights will still keep that in their back pocket. 56.5 seconds left. 6 on 5, net empty. It's a win for Maple Grove, but Zakrajcek gets it back, trying to keep it along the boards. Puck will pop out to the neutral zone. Red Knights step up, looking to go back in. Here's Hansen down the right wing side. Back into the zone as they stay on side. Hansen gets around the defender. Not the second time, though, picked up by Heising. Here's Heising, her shot blocked. Now to the boards, 35 seconds left. Cycled back around. Zakrajcek battling in the corner. Maple Grove defender down. They're still working to try and dig this one free from the corner. And it's Weineke who's got some space. Up towards center. Fisher broken up. Another try toward the empty net will go wide. 15 seconds left. They'll have to go quick. Heising's pass missed Rock. Down toward the empty net, no good. 5 seconds left. Benild's got to hurry here. And that is going to do it. Maple Grove holds on for a 2-1 win on the road here in this matchup of a couple teams ranked inside the Carroll Evan top 11. The game-winning goal coming from Hadley Baker in the third period as the Crimson win this one by a final score of 2-1. A great game here tonight, but the Red Knights will lose their first game of the year here. They will fall to 4-1 on the season. Meanwhile, Maple Grove will improve to 4-0 after the victory here tonight. Great game. Some phenomenal goaltenders in Emma Maddock and Bella Prosser. We expected a low-scoring game tonight, and that's exactly what we got here tonight from these two teams as Maple Grove defeats Benilde St. Margaret's 2-1 here on the road. A quality non-conference win for the Crimson as they earn the hard-fought 2-1 victory. Once again, the winning goal coming from Hadley Baker, team leading 6th goal of the year, was the difference tonight for Maple Grove as they get the job done. Up next for Maple Grove, it doesn't get any easier. They will take on Hill Murray on Saturday. That's at 2:30 p.m. at Hill Murray at the Polar Arena in North St. Paul. So does not get any easier for the Crimson. For Benilde St. Margaret's, they will have Wayzata on Tuesday night of next week. So they'll have a few days off before getting back into action next week. And then they will also take on Bemidji the following weekend. That'll be another quality non-conference matchup for the Red Knights as the Lumberjacks will come to town to take on Benilde St. Margaret's. Well, that'll wrap up our coverage here tonight for Hockey Night in Minnesota, presented in part by Xcel Energy, Top Line Credit Union, ResTech, Switchback Foods, Standard Heating and Air, and of course, Fortis Academy as well. We appreciate all their support making tonight's broadcast possible. Once again, the final score from St. Louis Park. It is Maple Grove 2, Benilde St. Margaret's 1. Hadley Baker with the game winner in the third period. Thanks for joining us on Carroll 11 Plus and MN Hockey TV tonight. I'm Matt Harrington saying so long from the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. So long, everybody.
Like you, we believe preparation, dedication, and teamwork lead to success. At Xcel Energy, we're proud to power high school sports across Minnesota.
At Top Line Financial Credit Union, they've been a part of their members' big moments for 90 years. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, starting a business, or maybe getting married. Interest-only home equity lines of credit can make it happen. It's just one of the many ways that they're helping their members achieve their financial dreams and love the home that they're in. Become a Top Line member and let them be a part of yours too. Visit toplinecu.com because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
My grandfather opened our doors in 1930. Ever since, we've had one main goal: keeping customers and their families comfortable. Comfort isn't just about temperature, it's about your peace of mind working with us. Our reputation is built on quality work, integrity, and a team of experts second to none. We stand behind our guarantees, our work, and our people. That's been true for over 90 years. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, the comfort you deserve since 1930.